This is the third time I'm recording this video. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing the ultimate stop motion face expression guide. I made that too epic, didn't I? Yes. But someone requested this video. They left a comment on the sad face tutorial and asked to see like more facial expressions, more stuff that you can do with GIMP and stuff like that. So here it is. This video is for you and anyone else who wants to learn these techniques. And as I mentioned just now, this is my third time recording this video. The first time I recorded it, doing it live, like as I was doing it, okay? But I used my phone and I thought my phone's audio would be good enough quality to use for this video. But the audio was trash. I tried everything I could. I used different effects, different audio methods, all this stuff, you know, reverb, all of that. And the audio was just, it was too trash. I couldn't release that. I couldn't do that to you guys, man. I couldn't release that. So I started recording it again. I'm using Zoom currently to, you know, I'm currently in the process of moving, as I mentioned before in the community post. So this is kind of like a new setup I'm trying out for this current situation. And Zoom's green screen is not the best. As you can tell, I keep like disappearing and stuff, but it's not too bad on my computer. On the phone, it was really not very good at all. But I started recording for the second time, and then my Zoom meeting dropped, and then it came back, and I said, okay, let me end the meeting to get the recording, and no recording was there. So here we are for the third time. Let's hope it doesn't drop again. Now, I want to give a channel update as well. I made a community post about this. Basically, my plan for the foreseeable future is to upload a video at least once a month, okay? Normally, I've been uploading like one video a week, whether it's a short or a regular video. But what I want to do is I want to take more time, let's say less time making videos for every week and more time actually completing episode 1 part 2 and then doing episode 2, etc, etc, because I know you guys really want to see episode 1 part 2, and I do as well, because I'm like having a lot of fun making it. And then of course after that I want to make episode 2. And as I mentioned before, I want to enter a contest, which the deadline is like October. So my goal is to finish episode 1 part 2 by October, sometime in October. I'm about halfway done right now, and I want to just go ham on it and get it done. And of course, longtime viewers or people who see my animations, you know that I use action figures. I don't use clay for my stop motion. I use guys like this, which is like a 1/6 scale action figure, or you could call it a doll if you want to. I don't really care. It has real hair, so I ain't gonna argue with you. But the face you can see here is hard plastic, so I can't like, you know with clay you can like move the eyebrows and stuff. You can't do that here. With this, I basically have to do a lot of like photoshopping to get face expressions done, and that's what I'm gonna show you today. And the faces we're gonna be doing are a happy face, an angry face, and a shocked or surprised face. I'm gonna be using GIMP for the photoshopping process or editing the faces themselves. I'm gonna use Premiere Pro, Adobe, for making those images into videos. And then I'm gonna use an AI software called Flow Frames to change the videos from 12 frames per second, or rather let me say, to interpolate the videos, a fancy word, from 12 frames per second to 60 frames per second. And that's what you're gonna see at the end. And that's gonna look very, very nice. You're gonna see how beautiful that's gonna look. Okay, I love the AI, I love Flow Frames. I use it like basically for everything now. If you animate manually at 60 frames per second, you're just crazy, okay? That's just too much. I can't do that. I try to work smarter, not harder. I rather work at 12 frames per second and have the AI do the 60 than just work at 60 from the beginning. That's just, no. 60 frames for 1 second? No, bro, no. Now, all of these programs are free except Premiere Pro. That one is a monthly subscription, but I do think it's very well worth it, honestly. I love Premiere. And I mean, if you do very complex animation like I do, then you are gonna need a bit more of a powerful program. Windows Movie Maker isn't gonna cut it for you. I'll leave links to all these programs in the description. So without further ado, let's get into it for the third time. All right, so let's get into it. First, you wanna import, of course, or open the image you're gonna be working on in GIMP. And that will be like, the basic neutral face that the action figure has already. And I'm gonna be using a new technique here today as well. So in the previous like face tutorial with the sad face, I would like copy and paste the eyebrows and stuff to move them around. But I've actually discovered a new technique which I think is going to change your life and mine. Okay, this is so much easier, so much better. Let's get into it. So first I want to duplicate that neutral layer and then call that new thing the happy layer, right? I'm going to make a layer group and call that happy face and drag the happy layer or frame into that group. Okay, and now we're going to begin the brand new technique, which I believe is going to revolutionize the entire industry. So the cage transform tool over here, you want to get that. And yep, if you don't see it, you can highlight, click and hold, and it should show the two options there. And you want to outline his eyebrows with this tool, okay? Now I've used this tool in the past for like the breathing, to do animated breathing, like, you know, like to move the shoulders and stuff. I use this tool, but I don't know why, but I did not think about using it for face expressions. And I use it for jaws too, for the jaw talking. For example, in part 2, when the action figures talk, their jaws move. So if you move these, you complete the, you know, sequence and move these little dots around or whatever, the eyebrows are gonna move up. Of course, you're doing a happy face, so you wanna have the eyebrows going up. Instead of having to copy and paste and do all that skin stuff, just use the cage transform tool. Like, I mean, this is so much easier. This is so much, as I said just now, work smarter, not harder, right? You're gonna get basically the same result much more quickly. So yeah. And now we're gonna, let's see. So I duplicate the neutral layer as happy 1 and then change this one's name to happy 2. And you can see his eyebrows are moving a little bit. Yeah, when I turn it on and off, right? There we go. But now there are some artifacts, some pixelation that happens when you do that, when you move the stuff around. So you want to get the smudge tool and take care of all of that. Smudge tool is right over here. And you want to make sure you have a brush selected with a blurry edge to give like a nice smooth finish and not a rough finish to it. And just gently brush over those pixelated areas to make it nice and smooth, right? To kind of blend that stuff in and make it look natural. Yep. There we go. Because you want to make it look like his eyebrows are the only thing moving. You don't want to see these big pixels flying all over the place, right? All right, that one wasn't as bad. And yeah, so that's happy 2. And you see his eyebrows there, right, are moving up. And now we're gonna do his mouth. He has to smile as well, right? So let's zoom in on that mouth area there and get the cage transform tool once again and outline his mouth this time and do the exact same thing we did with the eyebrows. So just outline this, click the dot, dot, get that, yep. And you don't have to be too precise, just get the general shape of the mouth. And then we're gonna pull the corners, okay, to make it look like he's smiling. This is gonna be basically the second, well, this is the first smiling frame, right? But the second step in the happy face process. Yeah, and he looks like he's already smiling, basically. Let's get the smudge tool and just clean up those pixels. Yep. All right. There we go. Just make it look nice, smooth, and natural. All right. So yeah, this is a much better technique. If you agree, leave a like, you know what I mean? Or leave a comment. Because the last one, man, was comparing that technique to this. I am actually like completely shocked that I didn't think of this before. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. But you learn as you go, right? And I'm probably never looking back to that old technique again. That's just way too complex compared to this. But it's a learning experience. It is a process. All right, so turn that off and on. You see his mouth moves right there. Yep, happy, not happy, happy, right? And you could just leave it right there. You could really just do 2 frames if you wanted to, but I'm gonna do 3, and this is the reason why. The Flow Frames software, I find that with things like blinks or face expressions, you know, like basically one frame movements, it gives the best consistent results when you give it 3 layers. Because of course, the AI, you give it, let's say you give it layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, the AI has to make all of these layers in between to get you from layer 1 to layer 2, from layer 2 to layer 3, and it has to kind of guess what they would look like. So giving it more material to work with usually gets better results, right? Yeah, because it has to make a bunch of artificial layers basically. So let's just make its job a little easier. Because sometimes, for example, with blinking, I used to do only 2 layers, or sometimes I still do 2 layers sometimes, but sometimes with only 2 layers, you will find that the in-between layers from the eyes open to the eyes blinking look really bizarre. But if you do the halfway, like eyes like this layer basically, and then do the final layer, it looks a lot smoother, okay? And as I was gonna mention too, I use the same technique for jaw movement now. So part 2 of episode 1, the speech will be improved. The speech will actually have their jaws moving as they talk. You know, part 1, you just saw the mouth like moving like that, but the jaw wasn't moving. But now their jaws move as well. And there are some AI tools out there. And of course, this is layer 3 we're doing off the happy face, which is the same thing as before. Outline with the case transform tool and move the eyebrows up. There are some AI tools or programs which can make your action figures talk, okay? Like Hey Jen, for example, is one that should be able to work, but I didn't get it to work. And there's a bunch of other ones that I have on my phone. And I actually do plan at some point to make a tutorial or stuff about those apps. Only like, I think 2 of them were kind of usable, but I do still prefer my personal method over that. But if you want to see the AI talking app thing, leave a comment and let me know. Because I did make a community post that included it one time, but I know I think more people from Facebook and YouTube combined wanted to see the staircase tutorial, so I did that one instead. But if you do want to see the AI talking thing, leave a comment and I'll get to it faster than I would originally have. So yeah. So now we've got all 3 layers for the happy face. This is just the last part now, which is the smiling for basically the 3rd layer to make his smile whiter than it already is. Yep. There we go. Pull the corner there too. Yep. All right. Yep. Press enter. And then you got a big triangle there, so you want to take care of that with the smudge tool. And just blur it in, make it look nice and natural. All right. Yeah, and of course, if you don't see the smudge tool there, you can click and hold and it should show you the other options that you have. And yeah, just blend that in. You don't want to make it look too blurry, but just try to make it look like, you know, there's not a big bunch of pixels just hanging out everywhere, right? All right. Gonna make this a little bigger just to get a smoother finish here. Get that triangle to kind of disappear. Yeah, that looks a lot better now. That looks much, much better. Way better. And for those of you who do stop motion, if you don't do face expressions for your characters, why not? You know what I mean? I'm very curious as to why not. I don't recall, I'm trying to think. I've been doing stop motion for many, many years. But as far as face expressions go, I don't think, I used to do like Dragon Ball before. And I guess with those, the figures, like the SH figure arts, you know, they have different faces that you can change out. So I guess I would more use those than using actual like photoshopping of faces. Although for speech, I use a little bit of Photoshop and the breathing as well. But not as detailed as this. But the happy face is basically finished now. The 3 layers for that. And now we're gonna do the angry face. Yeah, there we go. Angry group, I believe is what I call it. Angry face. Okay, good. Right click, duplicate layer, the neutral one, and put that in there. Call that angry 1. There we go. Then duplicate that, call it angry 2. Okay. And now we're gonna start working on the angry face. So of course, for the angry face, the difference here is gonna be the eyebrows, regarding the eyebrows at least, they're gonna be moving down instead of moving up, right? Because the happy face is gonna be like smiling, the angry is gonna be like that, yeah? Or like, right? So yeah, outline the eyebrows just like last time. Only thing is this time we're gonna have them moving downwards rather than up. All right, drag that. Yep, drag those. All right. Enter. And I don't see many artifacts. So there's not a lot of cleaning up to be done here. Just a slight bit there. But the case transform tool is pretty good with not like messing up the entire image. And I think for the mouth, I'm actually going to use a PNG here. Not going to like make him like physically frown or anything. Although you could certainly try to do that if you wanted to. You could do the same technique. Basically the opposite of the happy mouth, right? Yeah, so just drag that PNG there. And these are Adobe stock mouths I've added the lips to. So I felt like without the lips, they didn't look quite appropriate. But adding the lips, they looked a little bit better. I've considered like taking images of my own mouth and then using that as like a very realistic mouth for the characters and stuff. So maybe episode 2, I might do that. I might do like, basically I'll try to improve every episode, right? So, or every episode part 1 just had speech, part 2 has speech with jaw movement, and then maybe episode 2 will have like literally a real human looking mouth instead of cartoon mouths. Because I know there's a person that doesn't like the cartoon mouths. I don't really mind them so much because I mean shows like Robot Chicken and stuff have cartoon looking mouths. So it's not to me like a very like odd thing. It's pretty commonplace. Even in people that make like Dragon Ball, stop motion, all that stuff, they usually use cartoon looking mouths. Of course, Dragon Ball is an anime, and this is meant to be an anime as well. So there's, you know, different opinions about things. But to change the color of the lips, you want to go to colors, hue, chroma, and just play around with those settings to get it to match right there. And that looks pretty good now, matching his original lips color. When you're scaling, of course, you also want to make sure that the braces are turned off so you can scale it however you want. If the braces are turned on, then you can only scale it in the exact same ratio that it already is. And let me see now. So I'm gonna actually make another layer group and call it like angry 2, right? And put the image and the mouth in there so I can turn them both off together at the same time. And you see his eyebrows move a little bit, right? All right, good stuff. All right, now we're gonna do angry 3, the third layer. Right click, duplicate layer. Call it angry 3 group, I think. Or just angry 3, yeah, angry 3 group, okay. And now we're gonna edit, we'll change the name here to angry 2 group. And we're gonna edit this, call it angry 3. And we're gonna make his eyebrows come down even further to be more angry for the third layer, okay? So cage transform tool once again. What we're gonna get. Yep. Outline the eyebrows and rinse and repeat basically. You know, you can basically do whatever you want. I mean, if you want to make his nose bigger. In fact, I use this tool as well for the sniffing. When like say the little boy was crying in part 1, the like, you know that I did that with this tool as well. So you can use this tool for a lot of stuff. It's a very versatile tool. And I think it really, you know, adding face expressions and stuff like that really improves your animation. I personally don't like watching animations where like say a character is talking and there are like not even any mouths or anything. Like the character's just like, and you just hear the voice, you know what I mean? Like at least at least give me a mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? So at least give me a little mouth there. And I want to go a step beyond, of course. Now I have the jaws moving, etc. And I want to make it look like these characters, these action figures are alive. You know, they're real. Like they're kind of like little living people, you know? So the journey is towards that. It takes, of course, more effort, but it will look better in the end. You know, like for example, doing the jaw movement takes a bit more time than just putting the mouths on there, but it looks better in the end. So it is worth it. All right, outline the eyebrows for Angry 3. I'm gonna bring the eyebrows down. Get some water here. All right, so now, yeah, so that's the third layer right there. Not many artifacts, but there's some lines. Yeah, so you want to get rid of those lines with the smudge tool. Yeah, there you go. Smudge those away. There we go. Gone. This one, gone. Done and done. Make sure those shadows and stuff look nice. All right. Angry 2, yep. Make sure that looks nice as well. Just touching that up again. And now we're gonna move on to the shock or surprise face, which is gonna be a bit more fun. I got a bit more liberal with that one. Took a bit more creative liberties, at least in the speculation part of it. All right, so let's now do the angry shocked face. Right click, duplicate layer, and call it, let's see, shocked face group. Shocked face, yeah, there we go. All right. All right. Okay, shocked 1, the bottom, shocked 2, the layer group there, and then shocked 3 group. All right. Now I think I'm gonna delete these images and these mouths because I'm not gonna use the angry eyes or angry eyebrows or the angry mouth for the shocked expression. Right click. Oh, sorry, drag that there. Okay, good. Shock 2. All right. Okay. Turn that off. All right, so that's just a neutral face for shocked 1. And then for shock 2, we're gonna actually start doing the case transform stuff. And of course, for this one, we're gonna actually make his eyes bigger as well. So his eyebrows are gonna move and his eyes are also gonna get bigger, which will be kind of funny to see. He'll be like, you know? But a realistic bigger, not like a cartoon bigger, like just like, you know, but like more like just a very simple, realistic kind of thing. But first the eyebrows. Let's get those eyebrows once again. Yep, there we go. When in doubt, case transform, man, basically. All right, raise that, raise this, carry the eyebrows up. Yep. Carry that up, carry that up, carry that up, that, enter. And now we're gonna clean up the artifacts just like usual. Make that a little smaller, a little too big. That seems a little tiny, but I guess it'll do. Just smooth that out. Try to get rid of that dark line there. Was kind of, I mean, you know, you could pass off as like maybe like his eyelid, but I'm pretty sure it's an artifact, so let's just get rid of it there. All right, and that looks pretty solid. I don't think I even needed to fix that really, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so yes, eyebrows, see them moving there, right? Some artifacts up top here. Oh yeah, when you zoom in, you see those ones a little better. You smooth those out with the smudge tool, and they are gone. Okay, there's still this line here. All right, eyebrows, there we go. And I think now we're gonna move on to the eyes, make his eyes bigger. I'm gonna do each eye, one eye at a time. I could, in theory, do both eyes at the same time, but I chose to do them one by one, just in case that caused any issues. Just makes the eyes a little bit bigger, like that, but not like too big like a cartoon character. Although, of course, you could totally do that if you wanted to. And I don't even see any artifacts really, but you see his eye get bigger there, right? That's totally cool. Yeah. I don't really see any artifacts. I mean, oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a little bit. A little tiny bit right there. Okay. All right. All right. And then K's transform the other eye. Yep, let's make this eye bigger as well. Just drag those points. All right. Clean up any artifacts with that smudge tool as usual. See the eyes get bigger. Nice. And let's now do shot 3. And afterwards, I'm going to add the mouth as well. All right. Same process. K's transform those eyebrows. Raise them up. All right. Press enter and smudge tool those artifacts. Of course, I mean, you could, you know, take his eyebrows all the way up if you wanted to, for like, see, we're doing like a comedic anime face. You really could do whatever you want with this tool. So yeah. Always got these lines popping up. Definitely want to get rid of those. Those look a bit too harsh. That's pretty noticeable there. But we'll move on anyways. Now for the eyes, once again, the third and final layer for the eyes. All right. Let's check for artifacts. It's a little tiny bit. Let's clean those up. Make it look natural. Let's get those up top too. And now for the second eye. All right. Yeah, that was pretty solid. And just for fun, I'm gonna try out making his eye like super massive and see how that looks. Like a real anime or cartoon eye. Let's see. All right. Looks like an alien or something. All right. So for that, I'd recommend probably actually copy and pasting, because there's a lot of artifacts to clean up. That might be a lot of hard work, but you can just erase it more easily if you copied and pasted it. Yeah. So if you want to do the eyes really huge, the old method would be better. But for a very simple movement like this is the better way to go. But let's add the mouth after I save. All right, so here we are. All right, and let's now make this mouth the same size as his real mouth, like we did with the other one. Click scale tool, and then just move that mouth, make it wider. Right up there, yep. Make it taller. Be a bit wider still to get rid of those corners. Oh, I thought it was. Well, let's change the lip color. Colors, hue, chroma. Now let's just use the preset. Last one used. Yep. Press OK. And then drag that back up. Well, let me make it a little wider, I think, though. Because it looks a little bizarre right now. It looks kind of small. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. There we go. That's better. A little taller, maybe. All right. Right click, duplicate the mouth, carry it to the second layer as well. And now Let's look at what it looks like. Third layer, second layer, original, second, third, second, third, second, third, right? Now I'm gonna export these images all as, well, export all these layers as their own separate images. So file, export as, and then JPG is probably better because JPGs, as far as I know, are smaller than PNGs. You save some storage space. Just call this one like, you know, shopped3.jpg or something. And do that for all the other faces, all the other layers. So I'll do that. And then we have to Premiere Pro to make these into videos. 12 frames per second. So in Premiere Pro, bring your images in, of course. Right click on one of them and click with new sequence from clip. Yep. So here we have a sequence. And I should mention that with the full frames program, it only works, as far as I can tell, up to 1920 by 1080. So these images are actually 4K images and they're going to be too big. So I have to change the sequence settings to make the video smaller. Yeah, so if you try to do 4K video in there, it's going to give you an error. So click sequence settings, change it to 1920 by 1080. Yeah, 1920, 1080. And then 12 frames per second. Press OK. Press yes. OK, yeah. Now you want to right click on the image as well and click set to frame size to make it fit properly into the video size. All right, there's Angry 1 right there. Let's get Angry 2 and Angry 3. Yeah. Right click, set to frame size those as well. If you press I at the beginning and then O at the end, you'll highlight a selected range. And if you click the loop playback tool, which I'm going to show you now, let's go over the loop, this tool here, you can loop in that range. Press play. And if you don't see it, you can click the plus button and go get it from over here, drag and drop it. Get whatever you want, press OK. And then so let's press play the loop and see what this looks like. Space button. Oh, that's way too fast. But if you click this, you can zoom in a bit, adjust the view. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, let's make the last image much longer so you can see it for a longer time. Okay, that looks better. Sequence, if you do sequence render into, oh, you can render the images so they like play more clearly. So yeah, that's what it looks like right now, which is pretty good. I mean, this is already pretty solid, but the AI is going to make it look even better. All right, and now we're going to do the other faces. So happy, angry, shocked, all three of them the same way. Yeah, there's the smile, what this looks like. That's what the smile looks like right there. Pretty solid. Happy, angry. Right click, set the frame size. Put sequence render into out just to see what it looks like. Shocked, happy, angry, surprised, happy, angry, surprised. So yeah, looks pretty good already, but the AI is gonna make it look nicer. I'm gonna export this as a video at 12 frames per second. Then I'm gonna put the video into the AI, and which is gonna carry it up to 60 frames per second. And we can actually make this look a little nicer by removing the green screen and adding a background to it. The way to do that, green screen crash course real quick. Click Effects in Premiere Pro, type the word key, grab the Ultra key, that's the one that I use. Drag it on, drop it on, then Effect Controls, then go to grab the little dropper, click that there, and the green screen is gone, okay? I usually adjust some settings, the contrast, pedestal I turn all the way up, contrast as well. I think the midpoint. All right, that should be good enough. Gotta find a background for it. I'll get a background that I made for the episode 1 part 2. All right, this one right here. And notice that the image in the background too is also like an action figure Jesus image from the Jesus figure video. All right, let's right click on that first one because we want to put green screen on all of them. Just copy and paste it basically. So right click, copy that, highlight the others, and then right click. Yeah, right click, paste attributes, only green screen, the Ultra key, right? And then press OK. And now they should all have, yeah. So they all look like that now. Sequence render into out just to see what it looks like. And it should look pretty good. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty solid, right? There we go. And let's go to the AI now. But first we're gonna export these. And I usually use the media encoder rather than Adobe itself because it just works a lot better. You wanna choose, of course, where you wanna save them to. And change the name to like whatever you wanna name it to. I'll name it like face expression examples 12 frames per second or something. Face expressions 12 FPS. Yeah, there we go. And I usually don't change anything else here. I usually have it set to H.264, match source, adaptive high bitrate, and that stuff usually gives me good results. Also note that we highlighted the range earlier. Here you can choose whether you want to export only the highlighted range or the entire sequence. It doesn't really matter because we didn't put anything else on that sequence other than the range. So yeah. All right, I'll be right back. Here's 12 frames per second exported from the encoder. Smiling, angry, shocked. Smiling, angry, shocked. Now we're gonna head over to the AI and interpolate this to 60 frames per second. Should look very, very nice. Click Interpolation, browse video, find the video that you want. There it is. Click that, open, and change that to ×5, because of course 12 × 5 is 60 frames per second. Then you click Interpolate, and you'll see how it does. Here is the 60 frames per second. Let's go. See, it's smoother. Yeah, I'll show you side by side too and stuff like that. Alright guys, I hope you found that useful. If you did, you may want to check out some other videos I've done. For example, I did a tutorial about how to do eye movement, one about breathing, the sad face I mentioned before, and even how to animate hair moving in the wind. Of course, that one won't really matter unless you're using action figures with real hair like I do, so that one's a little more niche than the others. And of course, look forward in the near future to episode 1, part 2 of God's Last King. I'm working on it, about halfway done as I mentioned, and I really just want to get that finished. I think you're really going to enjoy it and have a great time watching. If there are any other tutorials you want to see, like techniques you've seen me use that you don't know how to do it and you'd like me to explain it for you and stuff like that, leave a comment, and if I know how to do it, which I should if you apparently see me do it, then I'll get to it. But for now, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, share it, etc. You know the deal. Take care.